We need longer commercials.
The back one.
So, yeah, we're back live, Mike.
We're back live. Folks at home, welcome back to Ike Live. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. I know we are. Very, very, very excited to have an amazing in-studio guest, Brian Latimer, with his family in studio tonight. Man, so awesome. Let me remind you, we want to hear from you. Lots of ways to get in touch with us. Hit us up on the IM. Also, hit us up on our social media feeds at Ike Live Show. And if you're watching right now on Facebook and you want to get into a amazing promotion for the Ike Live gift bag, load it with stuff from all of our sponsors, every one of them. Mystery Tackle Box, Liquid Mayhem, Real Snot, Founders, Primal Urge Foods, all of them. Every one of them. Tackle Warehouse, all of them. Dr. Squatch, all of them are in there. Like and share this live feed on Facebook, and you'll be randomly entered into that contest. Also, want to remind everybody, got just a couple updates real quick for you. The Ike Foundation Celebrity Pro-Am, Pete, is coming up. It's like a month and a quarter away. It's the first week of August this year.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. I know you're excited about it. Plenty of spots still available in the Pro-Am. If you want to sign up and fish with a pro, or if you want to enter with your own boat, Pete, plenty of spots still available. Go to the IkeFoundation.org. Get information on how to sign up for the tournament. Pete, the good news is this year we're giving away a fully rigged Bass Cat boat with a Yamaha outboard for first place.
See, I've been waiting to win until the boat was fully rigged.
Right.
I've been waiting.
You just said, hey, I want that outboard on there, so I'm going to wait. You're due. I swear, Pete, you're due. One of these years.
Maybe this year.
It's going to be.
It's fun trying. I love the tournament, love the format. I love fishing with new people, and it's a lot of fun. It's a cool derby.
It's going to be good. Also, we have the Ike Foundation Casino Night, which is the Thursday before. It's going to be a fun night out. If you're looking for an event this summer to take your wife, to take your fiance, your significant other, go to the IkeFoundation.org, look up Ike's Casino Night. Pete, we're going to have it at the Yards Brewery over Philadelphia. It's just going to be a fun night. All the proceeds generated from Ike's Casino Night will go toward kids fishing. So it's a really great event. So I want you to look for that on IkeFoundation.org. Pete, I got a note here, and I want you to talk a little bit more about it. I know you mentioned it in the first segment, but we've got a BU Live, Bass U Live, coming up tomorrow night with a really, really amazing guest. Probably you can argue one of the best anglers in the world.
On the planet.
Ever. You know? You mentioned Kevin Van Dam and Roland Martin and Rick Klein. I think you got to put this guy in that same sentence somewhere. Who do we got coming?
Brian Thrift.
In studio.
Wow.
Live in studio.
Wow. He's
going to be answering questions from our subscribers. We're going to be giving away a lot of prizes. And I just think it's a great opportunity. Brian, what is cool about him, I think, is he does things a lot differently than a lot of other guys, Mike. He just got his own style. He has that speed, that run and gun, a unique practice style. He has figured out some things that are amazing, and I'm looking forward to having him in studio for Bass U, where we dive in deep, we get into the details, and that's going to be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
Wow.
At BassU.tv.
Wow, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. I mean, to have that much success, I want to know about it. You know what I mean? Like, personally, I want to know. I want to listen to it, you know?
He's done so good at Eufaula on brush piles, 70 brush piles. How many brush piles can you fish in a day?
I don't think 70.
I got to ask, is he able to fish 70 brush piles in a day?
Dude, the fastest I've ever fished and the most water I've ever covered, and it wasn't a brush pile deal, but it was the Delaware River tournament. I would say in the Delaware River Elite event,
you were moving.
I tried literally to hit. My goal in my mind was 50 spots a day.
The Elite?
The Elite. And I couldn't hit 50 spots a day.
Yeah.
But that was my mindset, that I wanted to hit 50 places in a day.
So what were we touching? 35, 40?
I think 30 to 40 probably is about right. But I could
And they're
not.
quick ones because
They're quick ones.
they're a couple casts.
They're a couple casts. So for Thrift to hit 70, 75 piles in a day, dude, difficult.
Yep. Well,
Difficult.
he talks about in his recent Bass U seminar. By the way, a great warm up for you guys. Go to bassu.tv and watch Brian's recent seminar we released last week about how he does it, how he fishes brush piles. So you want to watch that, giving you guys a little homework, get prepared for tomorrow night's show. But he pulls up on those brush. I mean, makes just a handful of casts, and he's going to get the big ones. He's looking for only the big ones, and he's going to get them in the first 2 or 3 casts. He doesn't get them, off to the next one.
It's unbelievable. Let me remind everybody watching tonight, we have tons of promo codes for all the Ike Live sponsors. Everyone we mentioned tonight, if you go to the IkeLive.com webpage, you're going to see loads of them. Everything from Liquid Mayhem, Ike Live 25% off, to Flambeau, Ike Live, MTB, Ike Live, Real Snot, Ike Live 25, Dr. Squatch, Ike Live 20, Primal Urge Foods, Ike Live. All these companies are providing codes for you to get their products at a deep discount. So please check that out. I want to mention something too. Where's Dave? Where's Dave at? Because I do want to have him in there for this section.
Beats me.
Dave, you out there? I don't know if Dave's out there. Is Dave still out there? Brian Carpenter, give us a little update. I know I saw in some of the comments that came in promoting the show, a lot of people, there's excitement. A lot of people want to know what's going on with the Ike Live boat build.
Oh, you brought Dave in for that.
I brought Dave in for this. Because the reason
wait a minute, he's not part of the boat build.
No. But the reason I brought Dave in for this is because he was actually curious. He was asking me as well, what's going on. A lot, we got to see a first nice video of some things happening with this boat build. You start.
What the hell is that?
What?
Am I supposed to put that image up? Yeah.
What's the matter? You started out with this boat that was essentially a trash John boat, and you've built it now to this. You're doing an Ike Live boat build. Talk a little bit about the Ike Live boat build, Brian.
Well, I guess last week we put up the first installment of it, which was basically just gutting the boat. I believe this Monday or Tuesday is episode 2, where we take the boat and we weld the holes in the bottom of the boat. There were some significant holes that were being held together with some epoxy. And
the actual hull of the boat.
The hull of the boat.
Okay.
Had a guy weld it, but from there we reframed out all new decks on it, and at this point where we're at right now with the boat, it is framed, it's decked, the live well is plumbed in, and most of the electric is done. So I've got a few more electrical connections to make, some LED lighting to run on it, and then we're going to take the boat. We're gonna leak test it, float it off the trailer, make sure all the pumps are working, all the and that it's holding water, and then rivet the decking down and template it for marine mat. We're using marine mat instead of carpeting. So that's about where the project is at, and I guess I got an image that some jerk might have put together for me.
Oh.
I don't know what this means, but
that's the bottom end of your taquito motor.
It's the bottom.
Oh, that's it. Brian, is that your Torquedo?
I guess it is.
Okay, so we part of I'm giving away a little bit because I know Brian probably wanted to save this for a video, but
yes,
Brian's using a Torquedo motor on the back,
this
a high
correct.
Propulsion, amazing motor. We talked about that in one of the last shows, Pete. We had the Torquedo motor in here, but this is an image, Dave, of Brian's Torquedo right here.
Super high technology, man.
Dude, I tell you, the technology that goes into that Torquedo is far superior than any trolling motor that's out there.
I don't
right
understand
now.
it.
It's basically like AI.
It is AI.
It thinks on its own.
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, when you talk about, everything from drawing from the batteries at different levels to knowing when the pulse and knowing when to go to high thrust to low thrust. Brian's Torquedo is actually AI technologies, which is pretty amazing.
It's next level advanced technology.
Wow.
So much so that he's dialed into our feeds.
He is.
It does. It has. I didn't know what was calling me the other night.
Are you saying Brian's Torpedo is dialed into our own
It's
feeds?
taking on a life of its own.
Wow. Pete, I mean, I
didn't
knew
know
about
this.
this
He
stuff.
actually would like to talk to you.
Brian's Torpedo.
Yes.
So you're saying the actual motor, the Brian's Torpedo, the robot.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I like to talk to Brian's Torpedo. This is all AI.
Good evening, Mike. I like Live Crew. My name is Brian Torpedo from Ambient Service.
Do you have any questions for him, Mike?
Hi, Brian's Torpedo. Wow. What was that movie from the 80s with the missiles going across? I thought that was that for a second.
War games?
War games. Brian's Torpedo, is it true that you're going to be probably the fastest boat out here on the Thursday nighters here locally?
Hey, Mike. Explain why Brian fails to charge me and then tells me I suck when I don't work.
It seems like he's really getting to know Brian already.
I know.
We got to hear him though. Seriously, I think he has things to tell us about Brian.
Dude, what's amazing? All right, so Brian's Torpedo. Do you know any secret things about Brian the Carpenter, the producer of Ike Live?
Yes, Mike. Affirmative. He also hides his mushrooms under my cowling from his wife.
Did I hear you right? Did you say he hides his mushrooms under your cowling?
He said that he hides his mushrooms under the cowling from his wife.
He hides it from his wife. He
Yes.
hides it from Heather under the cowling of the Torpedo. Well, Brian's Torpedo, can you tell me?
Don't bring my wife into this. Into this crap.
Brian's Torpedo, can you tell me anything else relevant about Brian?
Mike, why does Brian hit me?
This is complete crap.
Brian, wait, I'm sorry. Brian's Torpedo, you're saying Brian hit you? Is this motor abuse?
Yes, his weapon of choice is an oar.
This is despicable, Pete. Brian actually hits Brian's Torpedo with an oar, a paddle, a wooden paddle at that. Does not compute.
Belat is trying to create space between himself
And this
and this segment.
Does anyone else have any other questions for Brian's Torpedo while I got him on the line?
Pete, you have anything real quick before we let Brian's Torpedo go?
Can you give us an idea of the completion date
Of the boat.
of the boat?
Oh, that's a good one. Brian's
He's slow to respond.
What?
Hold on. I'm losing him. I'm losing him. Brian didn't charge him.
Don't you blame me for your sins.
Slowly.
I don't know what he's saying there, guys. So you want to know if he knows if there's any kind of completion time frame?
Yeah, we're all curious because the boat.
Can you put me on Eric's boat, please?
All right, there you have it. Brian's Torpedo live on Ike Live. The AI technology is unbelievable. Dude, you thought Minn Kota with Spotlock was good. What do you see Brian's Torpedo? It's unbelievable.
He said, please, let me just say one more thing.
Oh, okay. Brian's Torpedo. He's back. AI.
You know what? We'll do him later.
Oh, we'll do him later. Okay. All right. Brian's Torpedo.
Well, that was riveting.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Man. Wow.
But it is an amazing motor.
It is amazing.
And I can't wait to rip it up out there.
All right.
Don't hit it with an
By the
oar.
way, yeah. Anyhow, go ahead. We'll get to this later.
All right. What the tie-in here though is the other Brian. You had little boats. You had John boats too.
Man. Yeah, I started out with a 12. My first boat was a 12-foot aluminum boat.
Same
I
here.
only had a trolling motor at first.
Dude, that is so sad.
Yeah.
Where
In
we
the
all
truck.
where we grew up here.
100%.
everyone started
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how
Permanently
everybody
in
in
the
South
bed of the truck.
Jersey started.
I remember it to a T, a low 1236. I actually got it to duck hunt with first.
Yeah.
And then I figured out we don't have ducks where we live, so then I started fishing. And so I got an engine the next summer. So I would, dude, I would get to the ramp, and I would back down the ramp just like I had a real boat,
Yeah.
and have to assemble all of that crap in the ramp.
Yeah.
The boat, the motor, the engine, the trolling motor, the
The whole
gas
thing.
tank, your tackle, your cooler, like all of that. You had to, dude. It was
I
chaos.
transported my John boat on top of an '85 Datsun.
Oh heck yeah, dude!
Yes, you
Heck
did.
yeah!
Oh my God.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a hatchback
Yeah.
stick.
Mine was in the back of my Isuzu truck, and then I finally worked enough to get a jet ski trailer, like the third summer.
Nice.
Yeah,
No, I never did that.
yeah.
No, you know what I did? You know what trailer? Remember Home Depot?
Yeah, the Home
sold,
Depot. Yeah.
like a metal trailer that came in a box, like
I remember
the
this.
size of a golf cart.
Oh,
bag, you know, like a golf bag.
Yeah.
And I assembled a
Assemble it.
trailer from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah,
They were
the
terrible.
worst.
They were good for a couple seasons, maybe.
Yeah.
A season.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
My first boat was my boss's boat. I borrowed that for 5 years.
John boat.
A little John boat. The only thing I could afford was the rack for my car. So I bought a rack so that I could haul that boat around.
Mine was a raft.
A raft.
Yeah.
Inflatable.
An inflatable, yeah.
Hey, humble beginnings.
With an electric trolling motor.
you know,
on it.
but you know, I saw your humble beginnings looking sharp. I mean, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I was looking at it.
What they've done, what you've done with the crawdad is
Yeah.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
Vegas is crawdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vegas has fished more tournaments so far this year than Dave has in the
cool.
last 10 years. Dave?
It was neat to see it, this boat that I had for such a long time. This boat that I had literally since the early 90s.
Yeah.
It's called a Coleman crawdad. It's basically a John
Yeah, I
boat.
know exactly what it is.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's polyurethane.
Yeah.
And we would go through this process of decking it with half-inch plywood. We'd try to make these things look like a mini bass boat.
Right, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You know the deal.
Yeah, I know
You'd
all
look
about
at all these guys with these amazing rigs, and we can't afford it. Well, so we
Not
would
even
do our
close.
own version of it.
Yeah. Small
And-
little culture.
And that decking would last. What do you give it, Bri? 5 years?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe 5 years. Leaving it
Waterlogged
outside, it warps,
Right.
it starts going.
right.
So literally from the early 90s to about a year ago, just constantly redecking it. And then I see Vegas. I see his, what's going on with your son. I see his excitement for something. You can tell. You can see it in his eyes. I said, I'm going to do this right this time, and get the metal decking. Do it all right. And had this project where now he's got his own boat, and I got to pass
Cool.
it to him. Dude, it's such a
Yeah.
good feeling
Yeah.
to pass that
can
on
imagine.
to him. To pass the torch,
Yep.
And he
such
competes.
a cool thing.
He competes.
And he competes
Yeah.
with it. It's really
Yeah,
cool,
just talk
man.
about that real
I like
quick,
that.
Mike. He just had his second event.
He had a
this past
second
weekend.
event. Interesting thing for Vegas is this year in New Jersey, they lowered the age limit. Used to be 10 to 14, 15 to 18 were the two youth age brackets. This year, we get a call about 3 months ago from our New Jersey Bass Nation youth director and said, we lowered it to 8 this year. Would you guys be interested in signing Vegas up? And we're like, well, we just asked them. We said, Vegas, is this something you're into? Dude, and, he just was drawn to it. Like, this is what yeah. I've been waiting. So we go through this whole thing. But until he actually competes, you don't know how he's going to do it.
Yeah.
These are 8-hour days for an 8-year-old.
Ooh.
The first 2
hours.
events,
Wow.
his
8
boat,
hours?
8-hour days, dude, for an 8-year-old.
Is he grinding from cast to cast? From
Dude,
beginning
he
to end?
is grinding.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. So Becky
cool.
was his boat captain for the first. I'm glad Mom was his boat
Right.
captain because you talked about that separation of being that competitive dad.
Yeah. That's tough, man.
It's tough.
Tough to
So,
separate yourself.
Becky can do it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So she went out and boat captain, but I got off a plane at like 11:45, and I drove 2 hours straight to this weigh-in for Vegas's last tournament. And one of the most unbelievable things I watched, dude, is I watched him coming from the other side of Merrill Creek all the way down the shoreline, trying to make it back to weigh-in, and I watched him just casting the whole way. And I'm like, God, he's got it. Like I'm thinking it, like, because
Got
that's
the
hard.
fire.
That's hard to teach.
That's
You know what I
it's
mean?
not heck yeah.
It's a very hard thing to teach, and I'm sure he's got it. It's a very hard thing to teach. Is that desire and
Yeah.
that want to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, Vegas had one fish in his well, but he just kept going. He kept going. When I pulled up, I'm watching this, and I look on the dock, and there's 16, 17-year-olds that are putting the boat on the trailer, that have tied up to the dock, that are messing around, that are on their phones within sight of the ramp. And here's Vegas, dude, grinding.
You guys instilled that in him, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's real cool.
And whether he's going to be a pro or whether he's
Don't matter.
it doesn't matter, dude. It's a good life lesson.
Good
man.
trait.
It's a good trait.
It's tough to beat anyone that won't quit.
That's right. It's tough. It's tough. And I think it's great for parents that instill that in their kids. And I think you're doing it, Brian.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
It's, like you said, dude, it's so hard to, especially like now you're pro, like you know what he needs to be doing, right? But you got to give him the rod and walk away.
It's hard,
That's
man.
hard, dude. That's hard.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
That separation is the hardest thing in the world. Here's something I do want to switch gears, and I want to talk about something else that you can't really teach, and it's something I want you to talk about, Brian, because I've seen it with my own eyes, watching you compete, watching you fish. I've seen so many comments from people, and I like watching it because it's a rare thing to see it raw and real, which is emotion.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the sport of bass fishing, emotion for a lot of years, especially when I got involved.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Pete was actually my mentor. When I was going up, I looked up toward Pete. Pete was the first one from New Jersey. But when we got involved, it was almost wrong
it's taboo
to show emotion.
Yeah.
And Pete, you know what I'm talking about.
Forget all those
It was,
people.
dude. It was almost wrong.
Like,
Brian, I physically remember starting with bass, starting with the red mans, and feeling awkward about showing emotion.
Yeah.
I wanted to fit in, dude. I wanted to wear the khakis. I wanted to wear.
They had you thanking Jesus.
Of course, you got to turn this unpolitically correct here, but almost along those lines.
I know.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, almost along those lines.
Yeah,
The vest, you know, the patches, like you almost wanted to fit in so much that you bottled your emotion up, right? That you didn't let it out.
Yeah.
And it was tough because it was you know, it was something that wasn't done. But now to watch it, not just you, but you know, this new generation of guys that are letting it out, I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love to see it because it's so real. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, people that don't understand that probably never really had to work or wait long enough. Because that's really what it is. They probably really hadn't been denied. When you've been denied like over and over and over and over and over, and something works, oh man, you can't ask me to sit here and be quiet over that.
Let
dude.
it out.
You gotta do. I gotta do something. I gotta dance. I gotta jump. I gotta scream, dude. After Seminole, literally, the next week, I didn't have a voice.
Oh yeah.
I didn't no voice, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can even hear it on live. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I flipped in these holes. And, I couldn't talk. Couldn't talk, dude.
Sound like a smoker.
Yeah, I couldn't scream. I was coughing and hacking and all that because I'd screamed so much. But yeah, dude, man, you do get a lot of riff-raff about that. You know, I get that, especially if it comes more from my other competitors than it does from fans.
Yeah.
I think fans like to see that from other competitors. They're like, oh yeah, you know, that's kind of stupid the way you hollered like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's real,
dude, somebody's gotta have something to
Yeah.
say, dude. So,
yeah, but there's people that try to manufacture that.
Yeah,
and
well,
it shows.
and that's
You
the
know?
thing. I'll never, you know, tell somebody to. I want them to be themselves.
Yeah.
But for anglers that are emotional, and it's real and it's raw, and you could tell.
Yeah, it endears you to them.
You know what I mean? Like you could tell when I watch Brian's videos and when I watch that FLW thing, dude. You don't get your hairs don't stand up on your arm for stuff that's fake.
It was sincere.
It was sincere, and I love it, dude.
I loved watching it too, and you got to take a lot of credit for opening that door for
really.
a lot of people.
Yeah,
you took a lot of heat.
real talk, man.
You probably lost more sponsors than most people will ever get because of emotion.
Real talk.
You know?
Yeah. that is real talk though, man. I mean, you know, I'll never forget the 03 Classic, dude. That was it was. I bet you can say the same thing I said. Like your fans love it. Your competitors think it's overkill.
Oh yeah.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
But I think everybody out there that wasn't a pro at the time could relate to that 03 Classic. You know, never give up. Like that still is resonating to this day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's like 16 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
And then, like people, they never forget that.
Yeah.
Because it's real.
Yeah,
like
whoever
you said.
acted like that, it was organic. It was real. You were about to walk, dude.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that,
You
and
know?
just
Yeah.
like you said, you know, we had suffered enough. We I mean, and that all was
we
coming
suffered.
out. That
We were
was that was all coming out because we couldn't
yeah.
get sponsors. We couldn't
Yeah.
break through.
The breakthrough was tough.
I was-
The sponsors were on the fringe. Some were going. Some were getting ready to go. And then you throw, in our situation, you throw failure and deterioration of a relationship because of the nature of fishing.
Yeah.
You know, you're blessed that you didn't have that, but
Yeah. I
we
can imagine.
had relationships that were failing because of what we did.
Yeah, life is failing on top of
Yeah.
tournaments failing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that was stirred into
Bottled
the
up.
pot at the same time, you know?
Yeah, and you want me to be quiet when I'm about
Yeah.
to
Very
win?
emotional.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It makes no sense at all,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, I've been walking through poverty for 3 years, man. We're letting it go right now.
Yeah.
I remember, and this was funny, and you mentioned this, Dave, but I remember sitting in a meeting with Jerry McInnes. Mike, you remember this? I know you remember this meeting because he was like, "I want everybody to express themselves. I want you guys." Because you did that, right?
Yeah.
Jerry saw the effectiveness of that, and he wanted to get everybody to try that, and it was kind of awkward because you saw guys that, like George Cochran, when he won at Gunnersville,
Yeah.
and he was trying to express himself, but he's not comfortable in that arena,
Right.
And you see some other guys doing it that just, you know, they're for 20 years they've been reserved. They don't know how to let go or how to do it. But they just got to be themselves, and that's what anglers got to be.
That's cool.
You
Yeah.
just got to be you got to be the best version of yourself. You can't try to be you or you.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be yourself, and then it'll be, you know, your celebration will be true.
Yeah.
People will respond to it.
Yeah.
They'll like it. They'll like you for it. They'll hate you for it.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh,
the
that doesn't
haters
matter.
are everywhere, and they're important
Yeah.
in today's world. So you
They're-
just got to be yourself.
They're important, or are they self-important? Like, how are they important?
Well, I think they're real important. I mean, the haters are, man, they're almost more passionate fans than the people that like you.
Yeah, they got to watch you to hate you.
Yeah,
It's true.
you know, they're
I mean, on that note, we were talking about being yourself. Like Clun never hollers, and I still watch him and like get that goosebump feeling when I
Yeah.
see him do
Yeah.
something magical.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
never like hoops, hollers. and,
nah.
You know, he
But-
might shake a little bit, but I still get that feeling because I know, like I can sense it.
Yep.
Even though he's not screaming, I can sense that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's jacked
He's
up.
got that whole Bill Belichick control thing going on, man.
Mhm.
Where it's just this measured calm that's
Yeah.
across the board.
And I remember learning that from like my mentor, Rich Schneiderite, who, I mean, you know, when I was like you, when I first started you catch a big fish, you're like, "Arr!" You know,
Yeah.
you're celebrating, and he would catch a big, and he was so calm and reserved and just focused, like, don't get too high, don't get too low,
Keep it right in the
keep
middle.
it even keel.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
all over, dude.
And you know,
I'm just all over, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now this is a good time to corner you. I've seen your highs are just as high as mine.
Yeah.
Are your lows pretty low, or are you able to maintain composure on those low
No,
moments?
I won't break down into like a whole negative rant too bad, because I've had some situations where I probably could have done that. I think I can honestly say I can control it.
Yeah.
My lows don't come out as always come out as cursing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or punching something or throwing something. They don't always come out that way. My lows might come out as in maybe a little negative self-talk in my mind, not necessarily aloud or anything like that. But I'm definitely melting inside when stuff goes bad. But it may not always come out vocally, or it may not come out vocally in public.
Right.
My wife gets to hear it when I get home.
Yeah.
Or, I deal with it with the kids differently.
Yeah.
It comes out that way, but it not necessarily.
How did
breaking down.
you yourself mitigate the the self-loathing, right? The 1,200-mile car ride home where you're $8,000 more broke than you were when you started.
Yeah, that's tough.
How did you bounce
That's
back
tough.
from that?
Oh, dude,
Like-
because if what's holding back a lot of people that want to do it or they're able to do it is their jobs are too good. My job sucked. so as bad as fishing may have been, it was very. I didn't want to go back to digging holes.
Yeah.
Like that's sucked. Like having like this not so great work life was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because if I wouldn't have had that, then I would have never. It would have been too safe.
Right.
I had too much. I
Yeah.
would have had too much money, and I had not have to deal with clients and all that stuff. If that was easy and good, then I could have just stayed there and just made a good living. But it sucked. It sucked so
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
that even sucking at fishing was cool. It was still good.
You still want to keep getting up and doing it
Yeah,
again the next day.
And plus, I just love fishing too, though. I mean, I really
Yeah.
do just love fishing.
I guess
Minus
I'm
tournaments.
looking for that one sentence, like how you get salvation in a sentence sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm just looking for that one sentence. How you?
you just gotta love it, dude.
Yeah, I know.
That's all it is.
I
That
don't-
seems
How do you
so simple.
reconcile the lows, man? When
Yeah.
they're
The
Dude,
lows are
I'm-
tough to stomach.
I can tell you,
sometimes.
I
perspective.
struggle. Like I missed 3 fish down in Tennessee. That wouldn't have won the tournament, but might have got me in the cut. Every single day, I still am reliving those.
Still now.
It's been what 2 months
Yeah.
now,
I can relate.
and every single day, I'm like, how could I have adjusted differently?
Yeah.
It just haunts me.
Yeah.
And it's every single tournament like that. The worst for me is after a crummy event that didn't go your way, the next day you have to fish. I can't even
I
concentrate.
love
Right.
that.
I can't even
I always
concentrate.
want another crack, dude.
Yeah, well,
Always want another crack.
I want
Like,
another crack, but
I want it right now.
I got to find out how to
Yeah.
mitigate and get the demons out of my head
Yeah.
so that I can look forward.
See, I was always wishing
You know?
for high winds so I could just go home. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not in contention. I'm, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
You're like, please blow 50
Yeah.
and cancel this tournament.
You were saying you want that one answer. I think it's all just perspective, dude. Like, you were talking about fishing. Like,
But high stakes, high financial stakes.
yeah, we're not
Yeah.
talking about dying.
No,
Yeah, we're not talking about like the perspective. Like, you're really going to be sad over you lost $8,000 when there's somebody that literally may not live, or they can't fish. Imagine being handicapped. You can't fish at all. Like at all. You couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, there's no chance.
That's the reality
It's
check.
perspective.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's the reality check. But when it's happening, it's hard to remove yourself from that competitive. It's almost like a competitive demon that you can't
can't get rid of.
can't get rid of.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that, but it's usually like a day or two after,
or a week.
or a week, or whatever. You know, and then it's a good reality check. And a lot of times it's good to get home. For me, getting home is a good thing. You know.
Yes.
Because you're on the road and you're thinking about it, you're heading to the next event, there's no time to decompress. You get home, you can decompress and you can step outside of yourself and say, oh, man, come on.
Yeah.
I'm fishing, you know?
You're
And
fishing,
what
dude.
exactly what you said.
You're
Like,
fishing.
there's dudes with, no limbs.
You
There's
fish.
dudes, there's,
fishing, dude.
but when it's happening, it's hard. It's hard to remember
I
that.
must not have those pathways. I'm still mad. I don't. And I recognize these people. I recognize
Yeah.
it, but I don't know. I can't turn that into motivation.
I remember being out on tour, and if I catch a fish and I make the checks and I can pay my mortgage this month.
Mm.
And if I don't catch a fish at that moment, like maybe sitting on 10 pounds or 12 pounds, and I need one, and I will make the money, and then I got my mortgage covered.
Jeez.
And I've
Pressure.
been in
I don't
that
think I can
pressure.
handle that.
I've been in that pressure cooker,
Pressure.
and I've made my mortgage payment, and I've been there and not made my mortgage payment.
Pressure.
You know, it's intense, man. It really is when you're starting out and you're trying to get over the hump. You're battling for sponsorships,
Yeah.
like we were dealing with before you broke through. You know, I mean, it was touch and go, man. You get a top 10, whew, I'm covered for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and then you got that ever dwindling bank account, you know, until you hit another one. So it's this sport is very, very mentally challenging.
It is.
But keep in perspective, man, that's great advice for anybody tackling it, because there's people going through a lot worse. You know, you're running out of money fishing. There's people running out of money for real. You know,
yeah, like no opportunity.
Yeah,
like at least, you know, like in America, there is opportunity to get money. Like, what do you want to do? Wash your car? I don't know. Go pick up some sticks in somebody's yard. But like, there's people that literally live in countries where they can't make any. You can't make any money.
Yeah,
you can't make any money.
Yeah,
it's the perspective. Like,
it is.
It's true. Let me remind everybody watching. We want to hear from you. You've got a question for Brian. You got a question for anything you're hearing tonight? Please hit us up on the IM. Also, you can ask a question on the social media at Ike Live Show, or a little bit in the third segment, Brian the Carpenter, we're going to put up the 1-800 number.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun. We'll get to have some callers come in and let us know what's going on.
Brian, real quick, look over your left shoulder. What's sitting there?
Hard left. You're almost behind you, buddy.
The mirror?
No, keep going.
Wait a minute.
What is
What
that? What is that?
What happened?
I don't know.
I
see a lot of things, dude.
What do we see? I know this studio is a blur.
I see like so many things. Oh, guitar.
Hey, what?
I don't play guitar. I play bass.
That's a bass.
Oh, wait a minute.
It looks like a guitar.
Saying
this is like this is like an MTB unboxing right here.
Yeah.
This is like an MTB unboxing. Let's see.
What we got in here?
This is a mystery tackle box bass. Ah, it is a bass.
What is it?
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
Ibanez.
We've been known.
It's a 5-string, dude.
Man, we've been known to put guys on the spot on Ike Live right here. We've been
you got an amp too, dude?
Yeah.
Ah,
look at this. Wow.
What is this?
All right, so we're really good at Ike Live Show about exposing hidden talents of professional anglers all over this world, Pete. And we've got one of the best pro anglers in the world on the couch right now. We're exposing a hidden talent.
And he's getting fired up.
I know.
He's right at home.
Can I just tell you an analogy? Remember we had the cast crew guys in the show, and they brought their equipment, the Techniques 1200s, the turntables,
and a freestyle rap.
Dude, I got to DJ again.
That was awesome.
Did you see it? I felt the vinyl, the feeling of the vinyl going through my fingers. It felt so good. We got a little. We had to do this right here.
Is it hooked up?
It should be.
Is the power lights on, but nothing. Coming through.
Brian, come on, you're the producer. Produce
come
this
on,
right
dude.
Nice. Bring it in. Now he's gonna get
There we go.
He's gonna get mad. I'm trying to warn him.
Oh.
It's a little bit out of tune. That's a lot out of tune. That's cool, dude. We had to tune it up. Come on, Brian. Bring me a bass to tune up, dude.
Bro, I don't know what about it.
No, I'm just messing with you. Ooh. It's way out of tune.
Sounds cool. Maybe this could be the new Ike Live theme song.
We need a new Ike. We're possibly moving studios, so we should have a new song.
Yeah.
This could be a little bass lick.
It's way out.
It already sounds like that. You remember that night?
Yeah, I need to tune it.
riff?
What is it?
You never watch TV.
No.
I feel like I'm on the spot.
Multi-talented. Multi-talented.
And it's confusing because on Brian's notes, another one of your talents here is that you like to chase strippers.
Oh, no.
That's not true.
No.
Stripers.
That must be that Brian.
Oh, stripers.
Who spelled it wrong?
Stripers.
Hey, what are y'all trying? My marriage is going fine, all right?
Hold on. Let me just say, that was copy and pasted from a text message.
No,
from
but
Mark
I do like to
Daniels,
fish for stripers.
He spelled it wrong.
I love fishing for stripers. That like
You did spell it wrong here.
Mark
strippers.
Daniels spelled it wrong.
That's a different conversation.
Did that one come from Mark?
It did.
Oh my god.
You know where Mark's mind's at.
Strippers. Oh my god.
I love
Striper are awesome though.
Yeah,
Fun.
the inland stripers.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the South
yeah. We
Carolina
have a lot
land.
of striper at home. A lot
Yeah.
of striper, a big striper population.
Yeah.
And, it starts to get really fun from about Thanksgiving until New Year's. A lot. Like, I probably won't touch a bass rod until.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's fun, dude.
They're running the bluebacks all around.
dude. You just follow the birds.
Oh, okay.
100 foot of water, back of the creek, it doesn't matter. Just look for the birds, and you
Yeah.
just chase them all day. They got like 3 things I use, dude. A bucktail, like a white bucktail,
Mhm.
and a jigging spoon.
That's
Wow.
cool.
That's it. That's literally all you need.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
Has that helped you in bass fishing?
Oh, 100% when it comes to graphing, because that's all graphing.
No
you know,
kidding.
so you see them on the birds. Of course, you go there and the birds go away, and you watch them on the graph.
Yeah.
So that's really how I learned how to use my graphs more than anything. Watching them video gaming. Dude, my dad was doing that back when that wasn't even cool. That's cool now to do that, but like paper graph days, he was doing all
Paper
that.
graph
Yeah.
days.
Wow.
Wow.
He was doing all that stuff then. With the flasher, he could tell when there's fish under him with a flasher and all that stuff. And back then I didn't think nothing of it, but looking back, I was like, dude, sometimes it's hard to see him in trees.
Yeah.
With the 2D sonar we have today, I had no idea how he knew what we were doing. Lining up on road beds and stuff.
It's
With
crazy.
a flasher. A freaking flasher,
Oh
dude.
my
Maybe that's what they
gosh.
used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's all you had. You had a paper graph at the console. You had if you're
Yeah.
cool, if you're real cool, you had a flasher at the front,
Yep.
like the big one, like the David Fritz one.
Yeah.
At the front.
That's how. That's
I
how I
think a
learned.
few guys still use a flasher. Larry
Good
Nixon,
stuff.
I heard, still has a
Is that
flasher
right?
in his boat. That's what I
Well,
heard.
for what? What's
I have
that?
no idea.
The real time. That's what.
Is that what it is?
It's real. It's instantaneous feedback.
I do remember, right when I got my first boat, my dad was still using the flasher for running, like on
Right.
plane.
right.
Instead of because the older graphs they wouldn't keep up.
The lag time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't keep up on plane.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the computer has to interpret
Yes.
what the transducer's telling it, and then
Yeah.
print out the image.
Yeah.
So there's a delay, and
Yeah.
that's why the flashers were so
Wow,
fast.
yeah.
Because you could, by the time you would see a fish on your screen, he's gone.
Right.
By old school technology, it's getting way better now
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
new stuff.
Now you've
But
got live imaging,
Yeah.
and you're seeing the fish
Yeah.
come up and eat real time.
Yep.
It's all changing. Riz, I know we got a ton. Let's get caught up. I know we got a ton of IMs coming in.
Yep.
What do you got for
Yep,
us?
we'll dabble through it. The Bass Hippie wants to know who's the real grill master, B-Lat, you or MDJ?
Oh, MDJ. I don't do a whole lot of cooking.
Ooh.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't do a lot of cooking at all.
Okay. And
How does MDJ cook his strippers? Struggles.
They're blackened. The strippers are blackened. Do whatever you want to with that comment. As long as you keep it private.
Thank God. Here's the thing. I thought about this today. Thank God Brian the Carpenter didn't make us do a promo. Thank God you got here at 7 and not 5.
Oh, yeah.
Because when MDJ was here, Brian the Carpenter made us do a promo.
Oh, yeah.
We
yeah.
were in bathrobes.
I remember
out
that.
fishing, and I was the most awkward
He
thing.
told me
I
about that.
I love Mark,
He
but
told me about
but I didn't want to be in a bathrobe next to another grown man. It just felt very
It was
strange.
Mark and O.
And it was too. All of
Yeah.
us were in bathrobes. It's very very
Weird.
awkward.
Were you using Dr. Squatch on each other?
I don't know, but it was very awkward. Go ahead, Riz. I'm sorry.
B-Lad, it's come in on the message board a few times about your the slogan that you kind of live by. Adversity is dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's just cool, man. Like,
yeah.
a couple years ago, I started up. Now I'm chewing on beef jerky. I guess that's cool. On it.
Yeah.
It's great because it's primal urge. You can
All right,
feel
good.
free. Yeah.
Get in there.
Having a couple bad years. A couple years ago, I was fishing Everstars and Opens. Started kind of digging into sports psychology and motivational speakers and stuff, and just like studying people's story, not so much their success, but their story. And I just kind of learned like most everybody that's doing something with their life pretty much had the same stuff I was going on. And I just kind of I was like, you know what? All that crap you're going through is actually like cool. Like that's cool stuff. Like,
Yeah.
There's people that didn't have money and then they're owning businesses, they're millionaires, and then there's people that couldn't make the basketball team in high school and then they play in the NBA, whatever. Goes on and on. You can go on and on with that. I was like, dude, this is really cool. So I was like, adversity is dope.
Yeah.
That's
It's such it's such a cool line because I remember the first time I saw it, you posted it somewhere on social media. I connected with it instantly. I don't know if it was because of the adversity side of it or it was the dope side of it, but I connected with it, and I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people connected with it. Eric the intern, do you know what the word dope meant? Do you know what the word dope means? Because he's only like 20.
Know.
Do you know?
So I thought it was gonna be something physical. Like somebody had like a really.
What's the modern term for dope?
Sick.
Sick?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So it would translate.
It is and dope is like a 90s word.
It's very 90s.
Very 90s.
It's very 90s.
Very 90s, man.
Yeah.
Flames, fire, lit.
Yeah.
Fire lit. Okay. Adversity is lit.
What's
Would be the
lit?
modern-
Hold on. Yeah, what's lit
What are we
mean?
missing
Come
out
on, dude. I said one thing the whole
Lit
show.
means dope.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
cool. you
Means
know?
good.
Yeah.
It's important,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And that's what I feel like. I relate to it. Like when you're out fishing and you're not catching them, and you're battling through practice. You understanding that that's an important part of success.
It's important, and it's like you always feel like you're the only one. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
suffering.
You're the only one.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that finishes one or two.
Yeah.
If you ever room with Mike, you are the only one not catching
Pretty
fish
much.
because he always has amazing practice.
Man, I'm always the opposite.
I come home, I got 2 bites all day. Mike's like, man, I got schools of 5-pounders. They were fighting for my lures. And then I found some
That's not
6s and 8s.
That
Man,
never happens to me.
I don't know which way I'm going to win this tournament.
Never happens to me.
That's not true. That's not true. I think it is a little psychology for me there because I've had bad practices where I turn them in my mind into really good practices to psych myself into believing that there's potential to win, even if you have the worst area in the lake and
That's
you're
why I
not
call
on
everything
anything.
a giant, right?
Everything's a giant because when you hook it, you vision it's a big
Yeah,
one.
right?
exactly.
And if
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I
Yeah.
totally get that. Yeah.
You
And
never get caught.
And in the Delaware River, anything it's 2 pounds or bigger is a giant.
That's true.
It's
Oh, yeah.
very, very true. Riz, what else you got coming through?
The Wawa Hoagie lady would like to know if you were plugged into the Riser 007 yet for stripers.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a bait made by Jackal, and it's actually a topwater bait.
Oh, I know the
Oh, is
riser.
it the thing that's got the buzzer? It's got like the metal blade on the front?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just got one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a sideways buzz bait looking thing.
I
Is
heard
that
of
what you're
riser
talking about?
before.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all that.
I got
Yeah.
one. I haven't used it yet, but I don't know if our striper wouldn't hit that where I live.
Schoolies.
They wouldn't hit it. It's too slow. I would imagine that would be too slow. It's got to be fast, dude. For summertime smallmouth. I mean, striper. Anyway, it's got to be moving, dude. Wintertime slow, summer it's got to be like
Fast.
going. That's just kind of like
Jumping.
a reel across the top deal. Maybe in the river, in the current, that probably work, but not on the open lake.
And one more question that's going to kind of go out to the whole panel here.
Panel.
Josh Hahn has been hanging with us all night, and he's just starting to get into electronics on his boat. What's a good baseline, reasonably priced fish finder that he can get on?
Am I starting that one?
Yep.
Or-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lowrance HDS 7.
Yes.
That's what I started with. Dude, you can take the thing out of the pack and it works.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to know anything. I think seems like fish finders are a big mystery to a lot of guys that are starting out in fishing, and it's really not that difficult. I was just talking to Ike and Pete just a second ago. I would encourage you to, depending on what type of fishery you're in, I would test it on striper. I think that was good for me because you got more repetition in anytime you're trying to learn something.
Yeah.
Repetition helps. With striper, they're so easy to find, and so I got to put in a lot of times. I got to see a lot of fish. You could see how fish look like when they're going in and out of
When
the
they're
trees
moving,
and moving and stuff like that. So you're not as guessing. Bass can be a little tricky sometimes. You won't see but one or two here and there. But I would just start simple. Lowrance has the best 2D sonar I think there is. I don't know. You guys may have something else to say about that, but just get that, and maybe it's crappie for somebody else.
Yeah.
Crappie. That might be an easy deal to start out with on units, but I would say do that. And if you've got striper in your fishery, that's a great way to learn how to use your electronics.
Pete, I want you to talk about why this question's through. I know you've given this a lot, but I want you to re-mention a lot of these units now. Side imaging is real important. But for a guy that's buying his first unit, it's intimidating. You have a great tip on how you learned. I want you to relay that.
I don't remember. I give out so many good tips. Hard to...
Delaware River, high tide, low tide. You got to see stuff. Talk about that. That's interesting.
Well, you know, and side imaging has become important. And to your question, Lowrance makes great units. I use Humminbird units. A lot of this technology, side imaging, down imaging, 360, you got Panoptics, Garmin, that technology is available on the lower end units. It all has the same technology. Really, the price points on your sonar is about how big your screen is. That's where you spend your money. Yeah. But the technology is given to really all those units. But side imaging is so important. I fish tides a lot. The important thing is, and I like to do it is high water. I do my side imaging, I do my investigation on a flood tide when I have the maximum depth under the boat, because the more depth you have, the further out your side imaging can interpret information. So at low tide or low water, you can't see much. It can only go out a short distance. But on high tide, it can really see stuff. The simplest, best piece of advice I think for a beginning sonar is understanding what you're seeing. Get in a clear water situation where you can see something. If it's a stump, drive over the stump. See how your sonar interprets it. You know it's a stump because visually you can see it. See what that looks like on your down scan, on your side imaging, on your 360, and whether you're in 20 feet or 100 feet, you'll know what a stump looks like. See a school of bait fish, drive over it. See how your sonar interprets it.
Right. See with your eyes.
See with your eyes,
and then look at it on your underwater eyes.
And then look at it with your sonar. That has helped me tremendously in my fishing. And if I ever get confused about what I'm seeing, like a lot of times I'm like, is that grass? Is that malt? What is it? Man, I will drag a crankbait, or I will drag something behind a boat to see if I can
physically catch it or physically hook it.
Physically hook it. Get my hands on what I'm looking at, eelgrass or moss or whatever.
Have you ever hooked Jimmy Hoffa?
I have not.
Okay.
I've not. Right. But I've heard he's been floating in the river from time to time.
He has. I want to change topics here, and I want to talk about something that I know when we announced you were coming on the show, Brian, we had a lot of comments come through on our social media, and I wanted to make sure I talked about this. We've got a lot of people that watch this show that are aspiring pros, right? They're high school, they're college, they're, the guy you talk about that's 50, everywhere in between. One of the things you've done really, really, really well that escapes seasoned pros now. I'm talking about guys that have been fishing 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They're not doing it good. And you've done it really well, extremely well, is social media, YouTube, branding, to build a brand, to build a following. Talk a little bit about that, because there's a lot of people watching right now that they have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing.
I wish I had a deep answer for that.
They can't figure it out. But whatever you're doing right. You're doing really good, because people recognize it to the point where we had comments come through like, man, please ask Brian about this, please.
I wish I had a really cool, deep answer that would make me seem like I'm really smart. I really don't. I know one thing I do see is a lot of people they overthink social media. I can say that. I know that probably doesn't help a lot. Dude, I just take pictures of what I'm doing. It's really like, that's it. I try to keep it positive, try not to throw shade on people. That's really all I've done. I try to keep it consistent.
I think that's a great answer, though, because I can tell you from my own experience with social media, with YouTube, people want to see. They want to see you being you.
Yeah.
They want to, dude. I can make a post that one of my sponsors say they send an email and they say
no traction.
They say, make this post. Here's how we want
Waste
it.
of time.
You know, and contractually sometimes you have to do
Yeah,
it.
you got to do it. It's
So
a
you
waste
put
of
it
time.
out there and I watch it. It goes, it has a little height and then it goes,
Yep.
and then, dude, I'll post a
Take your
picture.
cell phone.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'll post a picture of me and Becky waiting for the kids at the end of the driveway at the bus stop the other day. It's their last day of
7,000
school.
likes.
Dude, people love it.
Yes.
They go crazy.
Yes.
And if it happens to have a Wild Gear cooler in it and I
Right.
tag them, dude, the traction of that, of real life versus this planned, thought out.
Dude.
I think that's the answer.
You know, here recently, I've kind of become pretty good friends with David Dudley, and he's just started doing YouTube. His YouTube stuff's doing like I wish I would have grown as fast as he did.
He's doing well.
But that's one of the things he was asking me about. You know, what do you do? How do you do it? Etc. I was like, Dudley, I don't know. I say the best way best analogy I can make for you is it's like fishing. You just put something out there and see if they like it. If they don't, you do something else. And if they like that, and you keep doing that. I don't have anything deep to say. Like I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wish I could make myself look so smart here. But you know, I just don't have it. It's just like taking pictures of what you're doing or where you're going, and that's all social media is.
Yeah.
It's really not that deep. It's really not that hard.
I think you start. Step one is you have to have a life that's interesting.
Yeah, and
Where
you know,
where the rest of us struggle.
well, I think it's weird with social. It's especially hard on YouTube. A lot of the stuff that I'll put out, I think is so cool, never does anything.
Yeah.
And then something I'm like, oh, I put this out because I just promised everybody I'd do a video on Monday at 12 o'clock. And you put it out and you think it's crap. And then everybody's like, it's 100 comments in an hour. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Only best analogy I can make is like the social stuff's a little bit like fishing. You just got to kind of experiment with it. I don't understand algorithms. I don't understand, you know, all that fancy terminology. You guys saw me. I was doing a little my YouTube stuff. People never believe me when I tell them I really don't have a camera. Like, this is my YouTube thing, my cell phone. I don't even have a camera. I have one. I just really would rather not use it. 90% of the time it's on my cell phone, and I will use the GoPro if I have to. I hate the GoPro. So unreliable. But that's all I have. I don't have any fancy equipment. I don't have a studio. I don't have
Dude,
have any of that cool
there's
stuff.
a lot of people watching and listening right now that are like, oh, phew.
Yeah. I've invested nothing in YouTube at all. $0. I take that back. I bought 2 GoPros earlier this year because I wanted to wear a chesty and I wanted to keep the one on my YOLOTech.
Yeah. Shout out to Yoltech.
Yeah. YOLOTech's the best thing you could ever use. That's one tip. Maybe that'll help somebody. When my boat was made, I had them install 2 light poles at the console so I can have my YOLOTech midways of the boat and all the way at the back.
Mm-hmm.
That cost me about $85. So far, I probably put about $300 in YouTube.
Wow.
So, Becky, what's up?
B-Lab,
Sorry,
one of the,
I was not supposed to do that. But
No, this is like live. You can do anything you want. How'd the soccer game go, Miss? They won the
Cool.
second game. Cool. I like it.
B-Lat, one of the things you said when you first started on that segment was that you try to be positive and you don't throw shade on
Yeah.
any other people, and that's really hit home with a few people on the message board that, you know, it never hurts you to try and boost someone else up or to try and, you know, support somebody else's page.
Right.
And you know, that's just really cool, man. And I think that's why you stand out to a lot of people, and a lot of people are drawn to you because you're a very positive person.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've heard conversations with people saying, "Yeah, you know, dude, I don't follow people because, you know, I just don't follow people." I don't know, dude. Like, I'll follow you. You know, like I have a hard time. You know, there's like a movement now where people don't even want you to post your pictures on Instagram or on social. Dude, if you're at the ramp, you got a big one you've been holding, I'll take the picture for you. I don't know what I think some of that's maybe arrogance and all that we got going on in the sport. I think we're giving the powers that be gas when we do stuff like that as an industry.
Yeah.
You know, we're just giving Pete a gas every time we say, "Oh, you're breaking his lip, or you're doing this, you know, you're doing that.
Gosh.
You're not holding him right. Oh, you held 2 in the live well for all day."
Are they still around with that?
Oh yeah, it's
Dude.
bad. It's really bad amongst our pro anglers. I think is where it's the worst, or where it hurts me, where I hear it the most, and it hurts. Because I understand, dude. I fish weekends. When I fish weekends, dude, let me get my glory shot, dude. I want to take a picture, man. And plus, you just let him go, dude. We're catching and release, you know.
Yeah.
Like, let people win. Nobody wants to let anybody else win. We only want to be the ones that win. So, I'm just not with that crowd, dude. Just
See, I'm not dialed into any of this. So how prevalent is this harassment? 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
even
it's
know
pretty
this
bad,
exists.
dude.
Really?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's very
Oh, yeah.
discouraging. I think it's bad.
Especially on handling bass. I see that one a ton.
I think
a ton.
I think the big picture is we don't yet know how to communicate online.
Yeah.
I think that there needs to be a course taught in school, or we need to learn
No,
from
man,
when
people
we're
are
kids.
just terrible people. They don't need a
I
course.
don't think they realize that what the effect their words are having. They wouldn't say these things to your face.
I think
They wouldn't do it.
No, they would never say it to your face. Everybody just wants to be the guy that knows it all. So let me show it on your page. in your
Communicate
comment
with
section.
me like we're standing across from each other.
Yeah.
Think about it like that.
Yeah.
With everything you say.
Nobody has ever said anything to me in person about how I've held a bass.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never.
It's crazy.
I've never said, "Hey, dude, walk around the way of the stage. Hey, will you take a picture for me?" Nobody's ever
crazy.
said no.
Yeah.
Never done that.
Crazy.
Because I'm going to tell you, the one guy that does stay away from him, he's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It means he's nuts.
If you got that argument, you know, I'm sure that's taboo. What I just said, you know, all I'm saying is, dude, I'm not with that crowd. And if you got a picture,
interesting.
I'll take the picture for you. That's all I'm trying to say. Not trying to steer the pot and say this is right, this is wrong. All I'm saying is, I'm not with that crowd. I'll take your picture for you. I'm not mad at you if you're holding a 5-pounder in your picture. That you caught and you want to take pictures at the end of the day. All I'm saying is I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is a thing, and I'm hearing
It's
it
a
for the
thing,
first
dude.
time
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a thing,
I
Dave.
didn't know.
It's changed some of the things that I do. I actually
What?
Well, one of the things
If you don't want to take the criticism, you alter for sure.
Yeah.
You
well,
alter.
let me
They get
explain.
they get on your page? and
When
it's-
during the spawn, like one of the big things, like when I guide and I teach, right? You got to have the hero shots because that inspires
your business.
It makes people want to go fishing with you. Wow, look at the fish that Pete's guys caught, you know. And so what I would do is we'd keep our 4 biggest in the
Absolutely.
live well, and then the best selling shot I had was my clients holding up their 4 biggest fish.
Mm-hmm.
And during the spawn season, I just got pummeled with, do you have to keep those fish all day during the spawn? And it just was repetitive and over and over and over again. And, I started thinking about it, trying to figure out how I was going to handle it, but I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
I stopped doing it.
It's not just bass fishing.
Yeah.
It's striper fishermen are horrendous on each other. Kayak fishermen, I'm in some kayak pages. Those guys are brutal. If you're not in the kayak they're using, it's everything.
Oh, my
Hunting's
God.
unbelievable.
Wow.
It's just people in general.
I can't
and,
do
and
it.
like I said, people just don't know how to talk to each other
Yeah.
online.
Message board says screw PETA.
If you want to read where the dumbest people in fishing gather, go read the MLF comments, bro.
Yeah.
On the MLF post, oh my word!
Oh,
I
boy.
don't know where they dredge those guys up.
Yeah, that
Here
whole
we are.
conversation right now is lit. Any of that about organizations and
Yeah.
I
that's
mean, just
whoa.
anybody catching a
That's
fish
Jerry
on that
Springer
MLF
right
post.
now.
You
you know,
gotta-
that's bad.
It's just
Bad, bad.
Speaking
But
of
anyhow,
Jerry
I feel like
Springer,
my dad listening to rap music. I never even knew this existed, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I had no clue, man. I feel so out of it.
you're insulated.
you
I
talk
am.
you talk about all the haters in your latest video.
Yeah.
And how prevalent that is in the pro
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
People are disliking you?
Well, it's not just me; it's other people
Huh.
too. I just did a video with my wife. We had a vacation. I kind of vlogged the whole trip, and we
Got a pedicure?
just kind of did a pedicure. My
saw
first
that.
pedicure last week, and so we just did small talk. We have all these kind of small, just regular conversation. We were driving and going about business. So I decided, I'd film 2 or 3 minutes of it, and we just talked about parts of the pro fishing since that's so new to us. A couple things we liked, a couple things we didn't like, and even though I talked a lot about the stuff I liked too, there's one thing I said about just the hate among competitors, and that really seemed to resonate with a lot of people. But I was pretty unaware or surprised, caught off guard of you know, the hate amongst you know, competitors. Like, I don't want to see Ike win. So when he wins, like, dude, he didn't win by that much.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, and it's been really prevalent, you know, here recently. You know, even with like social media stuff. Like,
Yeah.
How much resin did you get on the pedicure choice?
Just some, you know, like, you know, real hardcore, good old boys.
Yeah.
You know, say, I mean, I don't care.
As
Like,
long as, but as if it's funny.
that's cool.
If it's funny.
I got a wife and 2
Yeah.
kids.
If
You
it's
say what
funny.
you want to
Yeah.
now. Like, you can say whatever you want. They're like, your man card suspended. Go, buddy. You know, like,
That's not funny.
yeah, you, dude.
It's gotta be funny.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was just one of the things I mentioned in that. It's like I was a little caught off guard about that. I just didn't realize it was such deep discord between. Of course, you know, I'm a competitor. I want to beat you. I want to beat Dave. I want to beat, you know, I want to beat whoever. But I can't. I personally can't imagine not wanting or like dissing on somebody when they do win or do well, or he only caught him because he gets more help than anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
you hear that a lot. You hear that a lot.
I'm so
You're
sick of that.
probably the best person in the room because we always wish people don't win. Let's be honest, man. Yeah.
No, so all right, so that's one thing, but to go out and publicly spew that,
Yes.
that's the problem for me.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a star
That's-
amongst
that's-
supernovas in here, dude.
No, but he's
That's-
right to say it. To say it
To
in
say
public.
it, yeah, we're in private. We're riding down the road, dude. Like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
dude, you know, like,
Oh, yeah,
Ike screams too much. I don't want him to win. That's one thing. But when you go and publicly say it, like, dude, that's just another level of ignorance,
Yeah.
and I just
I'm
I
with
can't
you.
get with it. I don't understand it. I could
agree.
never see myself doing that.
I
That's
agree.
all I'm saying.
It's like I look at a YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
And I just wonder about the people that thumbs down stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what motivates
Yeah, to
you,
take
man?
to take the time
Scroll
to
down.
watch
it.
the video and then hit the
I don't like
thumbs
that.
down.
Like,
Yeah.
dude.
You're such a douche. Like,
No, I know,
move
dude.
on.
It's
Somebody
man.
spent all
I can
this
fish
time
with
to put
my
something
kid.
out, and you're just like,
No.
man.
And they thumbs down it.
Oh, man.
So like, but you know, whatever. That stuff doesn't matter. It's just like
Why?
Brian was saying.
Yeah.
Like, I just wonder. Like,
Why
Yeah.
just
No,
don't
but
click,
that
man?
one,
just move on.
I have to mention this because we're talking about all this and it cracks me up. I posted a picture of Vegas in his last tournament. He only caught one,
yeah.
but it was like a 2.5 pound smallmouth.
no.
Dude, he was so proud, and it
Yeah.
got him third place
Yeah,
because half the kids didn't catch anything.
With
And he held it up, and there was a little blood just under the gill plate.
Oh
And
no!
one
you
of the
didn't,
comments
Iaconelli.
came in
No.
and said, "Well, glad he got a trophy because that fish ain't going to live."
Unbelievable.
But dude, I let the other fans just head at him.
Eat him up.
Oh,
Eat
they had
him
him,
up.
dude.
Eat him up.
It felt so good. I
Yeah.
never had to say anything.
Yeah.
I just watched it go
That's the
down.
best. When
Oh,
you don't
so
got to
awesome.
say anything, and the wolves just come in
Oh,
and
the
tear 'em up.
wolves got him, dude.
That's this guy right here.
Brian's a great one, man.
Oh, Brian's a wolf himself.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
he will defend to the death.
Yeah.
I love that about him.
Yeah.
I do too.
I
He don't-
got all my buddies back.
Yeah, he doesn't not put up with it.
Nah.
That's awesome.
That's part of the territory, though. You know, I got my circle of buddies that I call when you see something, somebody comments on your stuff or whatever. You're like, dude, look at this. But you know, I try not to spew that out publicly. But you're like, are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
There's only so
man.
much stupid that can be tolerated.
Yeah.
And at some point, you got to say something.
Hey, B-Lat, did you get a plaque from Backwoods Graphics after your win there
On Seminole.
on Seminole?
What's backward graphics? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, the one of me holding the two up is the metal
it's
thing.
made of metal.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
didn't think of it as a plaque. I thought it was like a picture.
That was
But yeah,
my
I got
fault.
it.
I worded it wrong.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, I got
but
one.
Backwoods Graphics actually just chimed in on the message board
Yeah,
and
cool.
sent that picture.
Thank you.
Sent
Wow.
that picture over on the message board of that
cool.
that metal piece.
Yeah,
and that's
so
a
it's-
cool looking thing.
Yeah,
man. Tell
it's
us about
cool.
that.
It's my photo on like a piece of aluminum or something. It's really cool, man.
Pretty rad.
Yeah, I think we got one in here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
okay.
Yeah, just
Zoom
like
in.
that.
Shout out to
Cool.
Backward Graphics for that.
Is that
Amazing.
Champlain?
Hang in there, man.
That's Champlain in there.
Looking for your shot.
That is
Erie.
Lake Erie
Erie.
Northern Open out of Sandusky.
That got you into the classic.
It got me in the
Yeah.
classic that year.
About
Giants.
that.
Giants.
That was the Hail Mary.
Oh, it was so good. The only thing better than winning that and getting to the classic, was catching a 6.5 pounder in front of Lefevre on the last day.
Speaking of not casting shade.
Oh. No, I'm not casting shade. I'm just saying it felt good. I'm not casting any shade. Let's change the conversation a little bit, and I do want to, Brian, talk about this because this is the second part to the social media question that we kept seeing.
You did catch a 6.5 in front of him?
Oh yeah,
on Erie.
On Erie.
That's his home body.
Oh, it was so nice. It was.
Tell us more.
But anyhow,
we won't say any more about it. Brian, I do want to get you to talk a little bit about. You've had a successful sponsor career. You know, again, a lot of guys are looking at it. They're looking at these guys that have had these 15, 20, 25-year runs, and you've been able to really put together a nice portfolio of sponsors, and sponsors that, you know, guys look at it and they say, man, he's out there using this stuff. Talk a little bit about that, because that's the other big question I think a lot of our viewers and listeners have is, what's the magic there? And you're obviously doing it right.
You know, it's you know, I could say a bunch of fancy stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just value. I think running a company for so long,
yeah,
I think I understand that probably better than the average
guy.
guy.
Yeah,
you know, when you're writing the checks, when you're paying payroll, you kind of understand what people are looking for. I think that really put me in an advantage when it came to the business side of fishing. Because really, at the end of the day, I'm still, even though I've switched careers, I'm still doing the same thing. I still have a client base, and I still got to report to people each month. You still got to send them an invoice. They still got to get something in exchange for that money, and that's really all it is. So that stuff helped me out tremendously.
Yeah.
And then also, going back to the same thing, I know I'm circling back to the same stuff over and over, but just having a job that I didn't really like so bad that I just wanted, I didn't want to be lazy and just fish. I wanted to work, but I wanted to work at fishing. So I kind of started doing these like videos and stuff like that. And like my first one, and some of my stuff still sucks, but my early on stuff sucks so bad, like so bad I want to delete it. And you know, like I just kept working on that, just kept working on it, and then you know, just kept shooting it to sponsors, kept shooting it to people. Nobody likes to hear this. This is another taboo. Watch out. I did stuff for free for a long time. You know, 3 or 4 years. I didn't get paid for doing videos. Yeah. But I thought about it from my perspective. I would have never hired a guy that didn't know how to run a skid steer, but he could come and try to learn. And then when he did good at it, then I would probably pay him. So I just, you know, I had that.
Yeah, prove your worth.
Yeah,
prove your value.
And nobody wants to talk about it. Like, that's so taboo. Well, this guy only gets 15% off. That's another laughing stock of the community, fishing community right now. Well, dude, I started off like that until I started getting paid. You know, and then 50% turned into free, and then free turned into we'll pay you $1,500 a year, and then $1,500 turned into $10,000 a year, and then so like. I wasn't really that scared.
Yeah.
I didn't really mind. I understood why they couldn't start you off at 10 grand.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I
started. That's hard for a lot of young anglers, I think, to wrap their hands around. Is that you don't start out with $100,000 sponsorship or a free boat. You got to build to get to that level.
Because our generation failed at raising them right. What was he was raised by grit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
A guy with life experience. We raised them soft as baby crap.
Yeah.
Sponsorships look cool too. Everybody thinks that, you know, that kind of legitimizes you. I've taken a lot of high school fishermen fishing, and they always talk about, you know, how I get sponsors. I'm like, dude, can you just learn how to tie a knot right now? Not yet. So I think they want that because it sounds cool, looks cool.
That's a true mark of being a pro, I think, once you start getting the sponsors, right? How are you a pro if you're not?
You know, I guess.
I mean, when you start making an income, whether it's through tournament winnings or sponsorships or a combination of both, I think that marks it.
Yeah.
Steve Kennedy don't got no sponsor.
He's definitely a pro.
Steve Kennedy's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, he's the exception to the rule. I was not the exception to the rule. I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to figure out something. You know, I told you my dad told me to figure it out, and all of that was a process of him telling me you're gonna have to figure it out. And so I just started doing stuff, anything. You know, like anything. just trying. Just like I was saying, when it's tough fishing, you start just throwing anything. Like they're gonna bite something.
Right.
So I just start trying stuff, dude.
Well, I think a lot of guys have a sense of urgency too to ask sponsors for more money than there's value because they can't do it.
Yeah.
They can't keep going professionally unless they get the money.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of forced in a position to ask for too much early on.
Yeah.
My deal was I was just trying to buy time by working hard on whatever I had to do. Just buying time. I knew eventually. There's no way. That's not how the process works. If you work hard at something, eventually it'll break. But I needed to buy time. So, dude, what I need to do? I need a video. Do I need to pick up sticks today? What is it going to be?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any magic to that either. But at the end of the day, there just has to be value on both ends. Because now it's getting to where I'm looking for sponsors. Like, if you're not bringing value, get away from me. Because everybody wants your time,
Yeah.
And
peace.
Yeah. So it is an ebb and flow there. I can definitely tell.
Wish I would have spent time being. I kept wishing for a dump truck to run a red light, take that boat right off the back of my truck.
And there you have it, folks. The opposite ends of the spectrum.
Exactly.
But listen, this is a great segue to take a break. Great lesson there, though, Pete. Hard work does pay off if you keep working hard. Hang in there with us. We've got Riz. What do you got? We got one thing. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
we got one more thing. There's a preliminary winner right now for the Dr. Squatch dirty comment. The preliminary winner is actually going to be Mark Daniels Jr. for quoting that we like to chase strippers. However, Mark Daniels will not be a winner. So for the third segment, the funniest comment that comes through related to the show on the message board, you're going to be our Dr. Squatch dirty comment.
There you
winner.
go. Okay, third segment, Dr. Squatch winner. Also, let me remind everybody, hang in there with us because we come back from this break. This is the last segment. And we got a couple big things happening, Brian the Carpenter.
Yes.
Of course, we got a mystery tackle box unboxing.
Yes.
We're going to be talking a little bit about a TH product, G-Juice. We've got a fishbowl.
Yes, we're going to open up the phone lines, and we've got some fun happening.
We have some fun happening.
Yeah, we're going to take some calls.
We're going to take some calls.
Yeah.
And maybe some rapid-fire questions
Yeah.
for Brian. Okay, hang in there with us. We come back. The last segment of Ike Live.
Like, you good, man? You know we're doing a video right now, right? I'm about to go down there and tackle that dude. Hey! Hey there, fishing world. What's shaking, fat cat dude, and coming at you? Listen, let's talk about something very important. And I'm not talking about Jack and Jaws Ripping Lips 2455 and Big Belly Kelly out of a brush pile. I found Primal Urge Foods. Ladies and gentlemen, what Primal Urge Foods is, it is a monthly meat stick box. Every month you get a box of meat sticks to your door. Retail is probably, I don't know, $30, $40, $14.95 a month. Now, you can pick many different varieties. You can pick a surprise box. You get a little bit of this, you get a little bit of that. You get some $24.55 and $5.04. No, we don't like antibiotics. No antibiotics! And these right here, completely eagle-free. Now, the gas stations meat sticks you buy probably have eagle in them. They have rhinoceros in them, but we are Americans. America! We're not eating bald eagles in our meat sticks. Guaranteed, none of these meat sticks have bald eagle in them. That's the #1 reason to buy these meat sticks. You want to get granddaddy a gift? Hey, you're dating a girl. Ooh, she's fine as muscadine wine. And you want to warm up her hair. I'm getting excited talking about women. I forget what it's. Primal Urge, $14.95 a month. Monthly meat box subscription. It could be called a Bombs box of meat sticks. Just do like I do, and every month the box shows up, and I don't know what's going to be in it, but they're all delicious. The meat right there. That is, I tell you what, that's something going right there. It's girthy. It's Fat Cat Newton, Primal Urge Foods. Please, Ike Live is the code, guys. Ike Live. Ike Live is the code. Okay. Primal Urge Foods. Ike Live is the code. It gets you $5 off a box. Okay.
I got a surprise for you. You gotta come out.
I'm respooling my reels, baby.
Oh, hush. Watch your step. Whoa, watch your step there. Come on. Keep them closed.
I got them closed.
No peeking.
Hold my arm so tight.
Oh, all right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Surprise!
Oh, yes.
Yes! Woo!
Is everything everywhere? Oh, yes, yes.
Wait,
yes, yes.
No.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah!
No, baby, go back.
Look, 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 look. Oh, oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, but baby, look. I got you a boat.
Mystery Tackle Box is the perfect gift for the fishing fanatic in your life. It's a monthly box filled with some of the most innovative fishing gear on the market, hand-selected by industry professionals. Check out all the different options available at mysterytacklebox.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli here. I love fishing this time of the year. It's cold, it's winter, it's snowing, but if you want to prevent the buildup of ice, use Real Snot. Every time I'm fishing this time of the year, I put a couple squirts on all my guides, especially the tip, before I start casting. Try that tip when you're fishing under these cold conditions, and you're going to catch more fish. See you later.
There's a special place in our hearts for the tools of the trade. They're what we prep for a good day on the water. They're what we clean after a good day in the field. Flambeau's patented Z-Rust technology protects the gear of today from rust and corrosion. Z-Rust for the performance of tomorrow. Preserve, perform, repeat.
You work hard to catch your fish. TH Marine has two products to ensure your fish survive. The Oxygenator injects 100% pure oxygen into your live well. That increases fish survival by 35%. For the perfect combo, add G-Juice live well treatment. It calms fish, stops bleeding, removes ammonia, and replaces slime coat. Get an Oxygenator and G-Juice and keep your fish alive.